laughter, anticipation, excitement, fear. Those are all feelings that you will have when you play this game. Hey, my name is Eric with a K, and I am the host of the Practical Youth Ministry Tips podcast, and I'm so excited you're joining me today. I've got a great game. This is a classic if you've ever been to camp. This is typically a game that is played at camp, but you can replicate this at your ministry with just a few items. The game is Blind Battleship. Now, you all remember Battleship. You see it right here. Battleship was a classic game we played as kids. I remember playing it. You sunk my battleship.
H6. You sank my battleship.
The game you can play anywhere. Battleship.
It was a classic, like the commercial that played for that. I think that in my mind anytime I think of Battleship. And I'm not talking about the movie.
Prepare to fire.
Sir, which weapons?
But which is based on the game, the board game, which is pretty funny. Anyhow, essentially you've got you have a cover like in the game that you play. You have a cover that's blocks, and you place your battleships somewhere on the board, and then you put in and you say A32 or whatever the grid is made out of. And if that person has their battleship on there, you say hit. If they don't, it's a miss. So you're trying to find where the battleships are on the other person's side. So in real life, Blind Battleship in real life with water balloons is gold. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you look here, let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you look here, you've got yourself a grid, okay? And then there's a section in the middle that blocks both sides. So the way this works is you set up a volleyball net and then you put a tarp over the volleyball net. If you don't have a volleyball net, you can use two tall chairs and a rope, or you can have some volunteers with rope, or just holding a tarp or whatever. Something that will make it so the other team can't see them. So then you set up 2, 3, 4, and 5, depending on the size of your group, ships essentially. So each group of students is a ship. So and the way I would do it is with hula hoops, and you connect the hula hoops together. At camp, they had these grids made out of plastic pipe, PVC pipe that they put together. But you can use hula hoops, and let's say you have 2 hula hoops connected here, and you've got 3 hula hoops connected here, and a 4, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do the 5 in the back corner, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe you have one more that's 3, 2, 3, and then so the team that's over on this side here, they're going to place them, and then what you do is with your other team, with your team over here, they're going to go ahead and place their battleships. And let's say they put their 5 are on here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. My zeros or my hula hoops are terrible. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and we'll do another 1, 2, 3. So this team over here now is placed, and this team over here has their placement. And then what happens is starting with team 1, and this is team 2, starting with team 1, you choose which ship is going to throw water balloons. And the way I would do it is get those squishy water balloons that aren't actual balloons, they're squishy water balloons. You dump them in the water, and they kind of fill. It's like a sponge type of thing. And let's say you choose the team of 3 here. They're going to blindly throw them over here. If it lands here, doesn't count. But let's say it hits here, this student now goes out. Okay, so this one's out. Now, let's say that this team, you choose this one over here. Okay, they throw their water balloon and they hit one here. that person is out. And then they throw another one and they land here, nothing. So now let's go back to this team. Now we're saying oops. Now let's say that this group right here is tossing, and they toss over and they knock out one. Let's say they go and they toss over again. They hit again. Boom. They knock out the entire battleship. Now this team, that group, is off the grid. They're out, completely out. Anytime a student gets hit, they're out. Now, once you sink a battleship, the way I would do it is I would give, let's say they just sunk a ship, I'd give this team that just threw an opportunity to have actual water balloons. So they take the actual water balloons and they toss their water balloons over. Now let's say it hits here, but it splashes on this one. That counts as a hit. And if they toss it over and they hit here and it splashes, doesn't matter. It's not a hit. So they've got that bonus. But the object is to get everybody out, all teams out, right? It is so much fun. And the anticipation of, is it going to hit me? And then, and of course for video, it's great. You do some slow-mo as I'm going to put on the screen here. I want to show you a couple of the clips from our actual water balloon battleship war here. Okay, here you see they're tossing it over, wondering are they going to get hit. Do another one. There it comes from the other side. They missed there. All right, so they're excited. Toss over again. Another miss. It's hard, right? Now here, you can see bottom corner there, right by the guy with the bucket, somebody got hit. Here's another one. They missed. It is, it's so fun. Now there you saw some splashes from the actual ones. So you can see it's a pretty simple game to put together. You need a tarp and you need some water balloons. Now, I love games and I love running. I'm gonna give you some information about this game here in just a moment. But I've written a book, an ebook, and a free companion audiobook. Both of them are free. I want to give as a gift to you, where we talk about games, why we do games in youth ministry, a bunch of low prep and no prep games, and 15 best practices to make you a game master, like to crush it at leading games. So many people, they lead games and it's just falls dead. And you want to be able to do a great job at leading games and not make it super complicated. You want the game to be simple. You want the explanation and the rules to be simple. Even if the game is a little complicated, you have to make that something simple. All of that stuff is in that free ebook and companion audiobook. Now, I'm going to put in the description below some information where I've got a link in there to like the bunch of balloons. That's easy, great to get a bunch of water balloons filled up quickly. There's some like the squishy balls as well as the magnetic water balloons that you can keep refilling. You kind of open them up and they're plastic and throw them over. Some great ideas there. Would love for you to share this if this is valuable to you and you're like, oh, that's a great idea. I want to share it with somebody else. Click the share button, pass it on to somebody else, and we will catch you on next week's episode. Have a great week. See ya.